guys, today we're taking a look at the Blackhawk Level 2 Serpa holster for the Glock 23. This will also fit the 19 and I believe the 32. There's lots of reviews out there on this, so I'm not really going to go in depth. I'm just going to give you some of my opinions on it. I've been wearing this for a few months. I wore it all throughout the summer, now into the winter here. And I'm extremely happy with it. It's a solid product. Although I do feel that there are more concealable options. If that's solely what you're looking for is concealability, you're going to want to go with an in-the-waistband holster. But this is a great option, like for fall and winter, the colder months, where you're more likely to be wearing a jacket or an extra shirt over your base layer. Although I had no problems with this as far as concealment goes, I just think you're going to print a lot more with any outside the waistband option. Any belt holster. Let's talk a little bit about the actual fit and the feel of carrying it. I use a 1 3/4 inch belt, 1.75 inches, Wilderness Original instructor belt. And if you have a belt that's larger than 1.5 inches, the belt loop is really not going to work for you. You're going to have to use the paddle. It has these little clips here, these little sandwich clips, and your belt would go through it, and then these sandwich onto the bottom and get tightened down. And with a 1 3/4 inch belt, there really isn't enough space to lock it down, and it won't work properly. So if you are starting from zero and you need to pick up a belt, I would say 1.5 inch or less if this is the holster you had your heart set on. I like the extra width on the belt. 1.75 inches fills up the belt loops on a BDU perfectly, and I wear BDUs every day. So for me, that's the better option. I get the added rigidity, and it's an extremely stable platform with this holster. Even wearing the paddle, once the clips lock in on the back, you have to kind of pop the belt in there. Once you get it around, and you get this riding on your hip here, and that locks in on your clothing, this hook at the bottom, it's extremely solid. It pretty much stays exactly where you put it at on your belt. The paddle is very comfortable riding on the hip. I've never had any problems with it. After a couple days, you don't even realize you're wearing it anymore. Let's flip it over here, talk about the actual options here as far as the way you carry it. It has multiple levels of cant. As you can see, I like mine fully canted. It just feels more natural for me when I go to grab the pistol. That's the angle at which my arm pretty much comes down. I get a quicker grip that way, and also with that much cant, it helps break up the silhouette of the pistol, which is more pronounced with a belt holster. You see, you got the screws in the back, so you have multiple levels of adjustment. You can move the holster forward or back. So it's a nice options. It gives you some nice options as far as the way you like to wear it. I've heard of some people say they had problems as far as their paddle breaking. I haven't seen that to be the case for mine. The holster can be a little bit annoying getting in and out of cars, like say you have a lower car. For me, it does kind of get in the way of the seat belt where I like to wear the holster on my hip. You know, it's something you deal with when you wear a belt holster, though. Like I said, for concealment and for ease of use, like getting in and out of cars and stuff like that, an IWB is probably the way to go. But I really do like this holster, especially if you're able to openly carry. Then this is an extremely solid option. Let's talk a little bit about the level 2 here. The pistol does lock in solidly. Got my 23 here. You hear that nice positive click. You get an idea of the cant there, the way I wear it. You get a master grip on the pistol, keeping your fingers straight as you're supposed to anyway. Once you put your finger on there, you're automatically depressing the paddle, and it just slides out, and it locks back in nice and solidly. I have heard of reports of accidental discharges, but I think that's more of user error. I would say a negligent discharge. There really are no accidental discharges as far as this type of holster goes. I think what people do is they press down with their finger instead of getting a master grip and running your finger straight along the body of the pistol the way you're supposed to, keeping your finger out of the trigger guard the way you would normally hold a pistol. I think people are trying to push down on that switch and end up maybe running into the trigger guard under stress. That's the only thing I can think of, but really, like I said, that's more negligence than a problem with the design of the holster itself. Let's talk a little bit about the price. These run anywhere from, let's say, $35 to maybe upwards of the upper limit being $45. Most days of the week, though, you're going to see this for about $35 at any of the online retailers. That's also the price that I see locally. And for $35, it's worth it for sure. It's a nice solid option. There's not too much else to say about it. Like I said, I've been wearing it for a few months and I'm very happy with it. If you have any specific questions, feel free to leave them or send me a PM. That's about it, guys. That's the Blackhawk Level 2 Serpa holster.